presentation skills. How do you put together a killer presentation? In this video, I'm going to share with you just how to do that. Here we go. Hi, my name is Drew, and I've had the opportunity to be connected with highly influential people. I've had the opportunity to observe the actions, the activities, and the qualities of influential people. And in this channel, my desire is to share those qualities with you. And so if you've got something to say, something to sell, or something significant to do, you've got to increase your influence. And that's what this channel is here for. Stay to the end because I have a free assessment for you where you can measure your influence. One of the essential qualities of an influential person is the ability to communicate, to say what you want to say and people understand it. And if you're advancing your career, many times you're going to have to present, whether it's a proposal or an idea that you want to share with the organization. Whatever it is, you have to up-level your presenting skills. Now, I've spent thousands of hours working on my own communication, whether it's observing great communicators, reading books on communication, creating content myself, writing my presentations, delivering my presentations. I've spent thousands upon thousands of hours doing those activities, and I've had to learn the hard way how to do some of these things that I'm going to share with you today. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 tips from a fantastic resource titled Well Said by Darlene Price. I just connected with Darlene on LinkedIn, so hopefully we can interview her here on Influence Trainer in the near future. But her 10 tips are the 10 things that she interviewed a bunch of executives and asked them, what are your pet peeves? What are the things that annoy you, that derail you, that make you shut down a presentation? And she compiled this list, and there were the top 10 things, and she shares them in this book. And I'm going to share them with you today. I wholeheartedly endorse this book and these 10 tips. If you eliminate these 10 items from your presentation, you immediately up-level your presentation, up-level your communication, and increase your influence with those executives. So here we go. Tip number 1, TMI, too much information. When you are creating a proposal, when you are presenting for a high-level executive, you got to put yourself in their shoes. Foundational principle of all communication, know your audience. These executives are very busy. They got a lot of things going on. Time is precious to them. And so you've got to honor that time, respect that time, and don't give them a bunch of the details. I like to say many times these executives, they can make a decision with 20% of the information. You might need 80% of the information to make a decision. They only need 20%. Let them ask questions about the other information that they want. Tip number 2, like number 1, don't ramble. So don't give lengthy explanations to a simple question. Deliver the answer, be confident in it. There's a great quote that says, if you confuse people, you lose people. That's true with anybody you run into, but it's especially true with the executive that values their time very highly. Don't ramble. Number 3, don't do this one. Do not fail to tie the message of what you're communicating to the key business drivers of that business leader. What's in it for them? That's what every single person is asking. That's what you're asking when you click on this video. You want to learn about presentation skills. If I start talking about golf, you're going to get frustrated and tune out unless it ties back into presentation skills. So what's in it for me is what every person you interact with is asking, but especially for those high-level executives that you're trying to present to. All right, remember we're talking about the top 10 biggest complaints from executives, and number 4 is lack of confidence and enthusiasm. You've seen Shark Tank, you've watched the show, they can smell lack of confidence from a mile away. You've got to believe in your product, you've got to believe in your presentation, and then you've got to communicate that confidence and that enthusiasm to the executive. Number 5, complaint. This is a tip. If you avoid these 10 things, you're going to be a better presenter to high-level executives. Number 5, they didn't do their homework. You've got to do your homework. You've got to be ready. When you're asked a question, you've got to anticipate. Have some anticipation before that presentation. What are they going to ask me? If I was sitting in their seat, if I'm answering that question, what's in it for me? Sitting as the executive, what questions are they going to ask you? What information do they want to know? Not what's important to you or important to the engineer to deliver, but what's important to that executive. Anticipate that question, do your homework, and be ready. Number 6, just like number 5, you didn't anticipate. You've got to anticipate what they're going to ask, and not just what they're going to ask, but any objections that might come your way. So the negative things that they might respond with, that's where practice comes into place. Get around some people that are maybe a little more critical, that can poke some holes in your presentation, and let them poke holes, let them ask the tough questions, bring the objections, and be ready to counter those objections. Tip number 7, let me ask you this question. Do you know what you need from this decision maker that you're trying to present to? You've got to know that. You've got to know, what is your ask? What are you asking of them? Are you asking for more resources to fulfill a project? Are you asking them for them to sign on the dotted line? Are you asking them for a decision that day so that you can move forward, that you can put in an order? What are you asking this decision maker? You've got to decide what that thing is and drive towards that, and then make the big ask. Number 8, decision makers hate it when you respond defensively to their criticisms or feedback. Don't get defensive. Don't let a shiver come up your spine, or at least don't let it show when there's some harsh criticism or some feedback. I had this happen in a proposal I was sharing with the president of an organization. He said, "I don't believe in the style of assessment that you use." I didn't blink an eye. I didn't skip a beat. I kept moving forward because I know what I deliver is quality. And you know what? At the end of the proposal, he said yes. Why? Because I was confident in it. And maybe he had had a bad experience in the past, but my confidence and my ability to continue to move forward and be confident in what I was delivering, and not be afraid or frustrated or angry when he gave back critical feedback, that enabled me to get the deal in the end. Number 9, lacks an executive image. These are frustrations that executives, high-level decision makers, highly influential people, the people that you want to influence for your success in your career, they get frustrated when you lack an executive image. So while it may be comfortable to have more of a business casual image, you've got to know your audience, know the type of organization that you're going into. And while I, on a regular basis, I wear jeans and a tucked in dress shirt and a sports coat, it works for 75% of my engagements. But there are some conferences, there are some events that when I go to, I'm in a full suit, because that's what I need to present. That's the image I need to put out there. People are judging you from the moment that you walk in the room. You need to know that, you need to understand that, and you need to leverage that for your own highest good and your highest influence of that group. Number 10, the 10th frustration from high-level executives, complaints that executives make about folks that present to them. Number 10 is this: they don't teach me anything new. If you're going to go and you're going to take the time of a high-level executive, hey, they're paid the big bucks so they can make high-level decisions. Other decisions are made below them. You can be frustrated about that. You cannot like that, but that's the system. Einstein said, learn the system and then beat the system. Okay, so this is the system. You better teach them something new. You better know what they know going into that meeting and be able to deliver something that they didn't know before them. This is where you are adding something new. Hopefully this video, if this video is worth your time, I shared with you something new, some new information, something that you didn't know before. It might be this wonderful book that Darlene wrote that's fantastic and I'll be using in the future. It might be something else that I shared with you, but you better go into that room with some information that executive did not know before if you want to increase your influence with them. All right, I hope this video helped you out, helped you up-level your influence with your presentations, with the executives that you interact with. And I want you to leave a comment below. Maybe you have some other tips that you've used in the past, some things that you've seen executives get frustrated with when you've tried to present. Share with them, share with all of us in the comments below. We'd love to learn from you. Thank you so much for watching this video. And as promised, I have the influence assessment in the links below. It's the very first link there. You can measure your influence. And remember, increase your influence, realize your dream.